was mentioned by Elder O. My wife, Suzette, and I, and our family go to Perimeter Church. If you just keep going down Pleasant Hill, past through Duluth, take a left. We go to church there at Perimeter. Yesterday, the sermon was on honoring your father and mother and family relationships, letting your Christian faith play out at the Thanksgiving dinner table. If you hadn't done it all year long, get it right this week. That was what we heard in church yesterday in my family, and that's what I believe. That's what I take to the Capitol. Pastor, Reverend you, thank you for that prayer. One of the highlights this last year was that Handel's Messiah Korean concert at Duluth First Baptist Church. I remember you were there, and appreciate your prayers and encouragement at that. And I understand it's at Bethel Church this year in a few weeks, but that was a blessing. So appreciate you mentioning faith. It is a time where there is a big divide and a big difference. Some folks are hostile to faith. They trust big government. They do not trust the family and faith to solve problems, but the people you see here at front of this room do. I've enjoyed working with Governor's Floor Leader, Representative Soo Hong, for 3 years now. We were friends before we got elected, but she and I voted together, as far as I know, 100% at the time. And the left-wing liberals who would try to replace me, they would cancel out Soo Hong's vote pretty much 100% of the time. That's the stakes in this election. Keep letting Soo Hong be floor leader and leadership and things like that, and don't cancel out her vote by having some left-wing, big government, liberal Democrat in there. Just to go through the 3 years you've had me in office, in 2023, we worked together to cut Gwinnett County homeowner property taxes for the first time since the 1980s. Y'all sent me there to do that. I'm proud to do that. And we're doing it a second time. This spring in 2026, you will have on the ballot for the second time in 3 years an opportunity to reduce the tax burden on homeowners here in Gwinnett County. We're going to keep working on that, particularly for our senior citizens. There was a 500-page federal court decision that got handed down when Representative Hong and I were first in office, first 10 months in office. We had a special session on redistricting. She and I are both on the redistricting committee in addition to judiciary, and got to work together on that. And then the next session last year in 2024, we worked on a lot of public safety things. I'd like to thank Senate Judiciary Chairman Brian Strickland. He worked on a lot of those public safety things to keep us safe in our neighborhoods. Floor Leader Hong is the vice chair and subcommittee chair of the Judiciary Non-Civil Committee that handles public safety matters. So she played an integral leadership role in those things also. Things like getting squatters out of Georgia and drug dealers and gang members, keeping our community safe, because a lot of y'all have moved from parts of America where crime's out of control and quality of life isn't good and taxes are too high. And we can't let that happen here in Gwinnett County, Georgia, and in Metro Atlanta. We're fighting for the community. This year, in 2025, we've been fighting to reduce insurance costs. We've had meetings at the Capitol, Savannah, Macon. We'll have another meeting in Gwinnett County December the 18th at 2 o'clock at the Gwinnett County Chamber of Commerce. We are looking for ways to make insurance more affordable for hardworking Georgians. If you think about the Korean business community, whether it's restaurants, real estate, so many businesses and entrepreneurial endeavors that you're living the American dream on, insurance is eating into your profit and money for your business and your family. And we are turning the tide on that. We've already started seeing insurance companies cutting their rates. So that's good news. We're working hard on that. I'm proud to take a leadership role. I am honored to have your support. Let me know what I can do this year in 2025 and then next year in 2026 to keep very close to the Korean community, to be a good friend and advocate, to be accessible, to be out there in the community. We had a kimchi festival this weekend. Years ago, there was a nightclub called Wild Bill's. I got to do some legal work for Wild Bill. It's now Atlanta Coliseum. It's a Korean-owned business. and they hosted a kimchi festival there at Atlanta Coliseum and it sold out. I had to leave before they started selling the kimchi. Gave somebody some money for a bucket of kimchi, and she called up saying, "Hey, too bad, Matt, it all sold out." I mean, it was literally like thousands and thousands of pounds of kimchi, and it was a sellout. It was another successful event. So I'm honored to be a friend and advocate, whether it's faith, whether it's small business, whether it's safe neighborhoods, whether it's reducing the tax burden. I'm fighting hard with Soo Hong, with Sandy Donatucci, with Senator Brian Strickland to make sure that we stay on the right track with that and we don't go the way of some places like Chicago and New York and California and raise taxes and have a bunch of open drug use and crime out of control. Let's be a place where Korean families and businesses can continue to live the American dream. Well, here's one example, the Hope Scholarship. It's always a fight to make sure that the Hope Scholarship continues to have enough money for our students to be able to go to college who've earned scholarships in the Hope Scholarship. There are many ways that people who have financial needs can get money to go to college, but there's only one that says we're going to reward you for hard academic work, and that's the Hope Scholarship. The other side of the aisle wants to make that one where they throw away the merit part and it's just another government program. But I say that we ought to keep rewarding students at Peachtree Ridge, North Gwinnett, Lanier, Duluth, and all of our good schools here who earn it, who earn their way to support them with scholarships. So that's a little bit about what we're working on. I know you'll get to hear some more from these good leaders who are here. Thank you for doing this. Any support you give, I will put to good use in supporting the values we've talked about tonight. And it means so much to me to have your support last time and this time, knowing that it is a small world and there are folks in the community where you have multiple ties and all that, but you have picked a friend and ally and somebody who's working on behalf of your values down at the Capitol. So thank you so much. And let me know what I can do to continue to be a good friend and advocate and to multiply what Soo Hong is doing rather than detract from it. Thank you.
제가 간단히 한국말로 오늘 얘기할게요. 저 맨 처음부터 이렇게 도와주셔서 너무 감사합니다. 회장님들 이렇게 해주셔서 오늘 자리 만들어주셔서 너무 감사하고 제가 이제 4년째로 의원 들어갑니다. 어저께 같은데 이제 4년째로 이제 의원 일 하면서 제가 맨 처음에 들어갔을 때부터 우리 주지사 의원 리더로 돼서 저희가 들어가서 일도 많이 하고 이런 리더십 같은 것도 많이 해서 이제 내년은 저희가 이제 주지사 분이 끝나고 제가 우리 의원 공화당 의원 부반장으로 나가려고 그러는 계획이에요. 그래서 저희 다른 의원들도 저한테 많이 서포트 받고 그래서 계속 우리 의원들 안에서 제가 리더십 일을 하면서 이제 한인들 분들도 많이 도와줄 수 있게 제가 많이 노력합니다. 감사합니다. 그리고 이제 11월달, 내년 11월달 되면은 이제 다시 선거 운동을 시작하고 선거고요. 이제 우리 하원의원들 중에서는 저희 조지아에 180명이 있는데 100명이 공화당, 80명이 민주당. 그래서 이런 자리들이 계속 조그매져서 우리 공화당 자리들이 조그매져서 저희가 이제 공화당 자리를 잊지 않고 좀 더 공화당들을 갖다가 많이 이제 들어올 수 있게 저희들이 많이 노력해서 이런 자리 같은 것들이 우리 공화당 의원들을 많이 도와줘요. 그래서 감사합니다. 이렇게 처음부터 진짜 제가 맨 처음에 의원 나간다고 했을 때부터 이런 자리 만들어주고 이렇게 도와주셔서 너무너무 감사합니다. 제 Matt Reeves가 얘기한 대로 그리고 우리 의원들 중에서 Matt Reeves 디스트릭이 한국 분들이 제일 많이 사세요. 그래서 Matt이 한국 분들 위해서 저보다 더 많이 이런 한인 행사도 많이 다니고 한인 분들 많이 도와주고 그래요. 그래서 우리 둘이서 의원 일 하면서 이제 뭐 한인 일들 나오면은 저희 둘이서 많이 같이 일해서 진짜 Matt이 우리 한인 친구예요. 의원 친구 많이 해줘서 You're really a friend to the Korean community. You have the most Koreans in your district, and so you really help out with the Korean community very much. 저희 그래서 요번에 나 자리도 좀 중요하니까 많이 신경 써줘서 감사합니다. 그리고 저희 일하면서 당연히 비즈니스 하시는 분들도 많으니까 저희 비즈니스 텍스 내는 거, 개인 텍스 내는 것도 저희가 계속 줄이는 일도 많이 하고 집 텍스 내는 것도 많이 줄였습니다. 저희가 들어가서. 그리고 내년에는 고엔에 사시는 분들 65세 넘은 분들은 집 텍스 고만 낼 수 있게 저희가 나타고 같이 일하고 할 수 있게 저희가 표시해서 지금 폴튼 카운티에 사시는 분들도 안 내시고 다른 카운티에 사시는 분들 많이 안 내시는데 고엔에 카운티에 사시는 65세 넘은 분들은 지금 계속 내고 있어서 그거 이제 고만 낼 수 있게 저희가 하는 거고 그래서 그거에 대해서 많이 한인분들이 많이 도울 수 있게 그리고 이제 내년에는 우리 당연히 집 텍스 내는 것도 줄일 수 있고 우리 개인 텍스 내는 것도 끝에 가서 안 낼 수 있게 저희가 지금 노력합니다. 이런 플로리다 같은 주는 안 내고 있어서 저희도 똑같이 안 낼 수 있게 지금 많이 내리면서 노력하고 있습니다. 그래서 저희가 이렇게 사람들하고 얘기하면은 텍스가 너무 비싸고 텍스가 너무 많이 낸다라는 그런 말을 많이 들어서 이제 그거를 좀 중심해서 저희가 지금 그런 일 하고 있고 그리고 비즈니스 하시는 분들 보험 내시는 게 너무 많다. 그리고 차 보험도 많고 집 보험도 계속 올라가고 그래서 나차고 저희하고 이제 지금 여태까지 여름 동안 주를 다 다니면서 어떻게 우리 보험도 내는 것도 내릴 수 있나 그래서 이제 내년에 보험 내릴 수 있는 그런 것도 많이 지금 계획으로 하고 있습니다. 그래서 내년부터 좀 내시는 거 좀 덜 내실 수 있고 그거를 좀 가질 수 있고 쓸 수 있고 또 비즈니스 하실 때도 힘드시지 않게 저희가 많이 그런 일들 중심에서 하고 있습니다. 제가 오늘 또 초대한 분 좀 있어요. 이제 조금 있으면 얘기할 거지만 저희 의원 이번에 새로 의원 들어오신 분인데 Sandy Donatucci, she's one of our new representatives. And you represent which cities? Beaufort, Lawrenceville하고 Tequila에 사시는 분. 그리고 이번에 새로 멀베리라고 시를 갖다가 생겼는데 거기에도 이제 의원하시는 분이에요. 그래서 그 자리도 저희가 중요하게 킵할 수 있게 또 의원으로 많이 도와주고 또 네, 박수. 중에서 제일 높은 변호사 상원의원 분에서 브라이언 스트릭랜이라는 분인데 이분 요번에 주 법무장관으로 내년에 나와서 이분이 이길 거예요. 그러니까 내년에 법무장관 Senator Brian Strickland, highest ranking attorney in the Senate, and he's running for Attorney General, most likely is going to win. So we want to make sure that we all support him and donate to him. We want to make sure that he wins. 제가 그래서 제가 변호사 일 저도 변호사 일 17년째 했는데 이분도 좀 거의 같이 그만큼 변호사 일을 하시고 그렇지만 의원 하신 지 how long have you been a senator?
And then my 8th year.
그러니까 8년 동안 이제 상원의원 하신 분이라서 그렇지만 상원의원 중에서 변호사로서는 제일 높아요. 그래서 이번에 법무장관으로 나와서 제가 한인 분들하고 오늘 이런 이벤트 있다 보니까 메이큰 쪽에 사시는데 그쪽에서 오셔서 좀 만나보고 싶다고 그래서 오신 분이에요. 그래서 조금 있으면 좀 얘기할 거는데 이분도 많이 도와줬으면 감사합니다. 제가 마지막으로서 제가 이제 뭐 인디안 분들, 뭐 중국 분들, 뭐 월남 분들 그러는 분들한테 이제 가서 얘기하면은 그분들은 이거 해달라 저거 해달라 하는 거가 많아요. 그게 제 잡이에요. 그러니까 한국 분들은 좀 저한테 많이 도와주시는데 제가 도울 수 있게 뭐 필요하신 거 있으시면 꼭 저한테 연락 주세요. 많이 한국 분들은 연락 안 주는데 꼭 필요하신 거 있으면은 저한테 연락해 주셔야지 제가 알고 많이 도와줄 수 있으니까 제 전화번호도 다 있고 그랬으니까 뭐 필요하신 거 있으면은 꼭 연락 주시고 제가 더 의원일 하면서 더 좋은 의원 한국 분들을 위해서 더 많이 열심히 일하겠습니다. 이렇게 해주셔서 감사합니다.
Thank you. Thank you all so much. The opportunity to be with you all this evening. As others said, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to be here and invest in us. First off, it's an honor to get to share the stage with these individuals. You have two really great House members here that we're honoring tonight. And I can tell you as a member of the Senate, we can't say this about every single House member, but you have two folks here that are very well respected. They come over to us with a lot of great bills. They are two workhorses in the State House. And when you elect them and put them in office, you put people there that have influence. If they don't get reelected, they'll be replaced by somebody with a far left agenda that wants to change the Georgia that we have. And they will not be the majority. We will not have someone there that can speak for you at the state capitol every single day. So thank you so much for supporting both of these individuals, and also Sandy as well. In our short time at the state capitol, is already becoming a rock star. Somebody's moving up in the ranks in the state house. I'd be honored to be your next Attorney General. I can tell you this, looking back, you all know this, but looking back at the election a few weeks ago for Public Service Commission, we saw the Democrats get over 60% of the votes statewide in our state. What that means is we're going to see hundreds of millions of dollars poured into Georgia next year to take on people like my friends here, to try to flip the governor's mansion, lieutenant governor, secretary of state, the attorney general's office. We care a lot about who our next U.S. senator is. We care a lot about who the next governor is. We got to make sure we get it right in all of these races. Because if Georgia changes, becomes like California, becomes like New York, this will no longer be a place that you want to invest your money in. We want Georgia to continue to be a state that's #1 state in the country for business and for small business. We want to make sure you have a state that works with you, tries to help you create more jobs. We want to make sure that you don't have a state that works against you, an attorney general that tries to sue you and take on small businesses, someone that adds more regulations to what you have. Our slogan for our campaign is faith, family, and freedom. And all three of those things, while it sounds so simple, sometimes we take for granted that we'll continue to be in a state and a country that emphasizes faith, freedom of religion, free to do that solely, free to do that on our own here in our state without government regulating us, a place where we can raise a family and kids like my kids that are 6 and 8 and grow up in the same Georgia I got to grow up in a state that recognizes freedom. And again, the other side wins, they'll throw a wrench in all of that. And they'll make us a state people want to leave versus a state people want to flock to. So with your help, we're going to win all these elections in 2026, up and down the ballot. And I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule, taking money from your family, your business, and investing in this effort so we can make sure we can win these elections in 26. Thank you.
Thank you.